Welcome to the very last episode of COZCAST Podcast.
Oh, it's the very last.
Just kidding. Just kidding. But it may be
Um,
for a while.
oh, well, where's that?
Because we were pursuing other endeavors.
That's a very interesting word.
You don't have anything to add?
Oh, well, I kind of want to talk about like mental health
Oh.
and stuff, like anxiety. And I don't think I have anxiety, but I felt like I can commune with people who do have anxiety. I feel like too many people nowadays self-diagnose, and too many people have psychologists, that they go see. I feel like mental health has to be one of the leading illnesses out there in America and other countries as well.
Because
Um,
technically it can't be cured, it can only be treated. Right?
yeah. Um, I wouldn't know about that. I'm trying to think of like PTSD because like I've done like I want to say research, but I've like looked into it, and I guess because like study on PTSD was done nationally because of the returning soldiers from Vietnam is when PTSD was like found out, or um, maybe publicly known of at that time. Uh, that trauma that they suffered at what they had to do mentally scarred them, and sometimes even that mental scar could be more dilapidating than a loss of a limb to some people. Um, like those. Okay, this is a bad example, but those movies where you see this like gritty, retired old guy. Uh, he's like worse off than ever. Like it's like the lowest of lows for him. But like that side of like human psyche is still very underdeveloped in like terms of understanding what it is that could harm or affect a person, because it's not just like going to war you can have PTSD, because abuse or maybe just like having a car crash, that can give you PTSD or mental trauma, sometimes they say.
Um, yeah, any kind of traumatic event.
I mean, like, what's traumatic to you? Like, can you give an example of what a traumatic event could be?
I mean, I used to follow this guy, and he said he got PTSD because he saw his sister almost get run over,
Oh,
and just like that, seeing that, had an effect on him because he was a little kid.
that's very sweet, and it's bittersweet that his sister, he loves her so much that she had a near death experience, that he suffered for it.
I don't know if she actually got run over and survived, or the car
She
almost
did.
hit her. I don't remember, but yeah, like things like that.
Yeah.
But according to Google, since I am Miss Google, it cannot be cured, but
Be
treatments,
treated.
and you go through your highs and your lows. Some days are better than others.
Well, I feel like, of course, I'm no professional, but it's just like how we have conversations about sex and transgender and LGBTQ community about labels.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, like
LGBTQ.
what is it called?
You're missing the T. LGBT. You said
Q?
LGBTQ.
No.
Anyway,
I feel like we shouldn't be putting labels on mental health because like one can lead to another. So like anxiety can come from a PTSD, or depression can come before PTSD, or maybe your depression is like extreme cases could lead you to do something drastic, and that drastic action or course of action, like going through with it but not following through, um, could maybe even develop PTSD.
It's the thing, a lot of people get misdiagnosed because so many of the illnesses overlap each other and there's symptoms of, all kinds that are the same.
Maybe one day we'll be able to like scan. Well, I guess like they do scan brains, but like we can have like some kind of machine that can scan our brains and correctly diagnose what a person has, or I don't know, like
I think
how do you fix a brain?
I've seen brain scans of someone who's depressed and someone who isn't, and you can see the difference.
Is it like a size of brain matter or
No, it's because
coloration?
like the thing that causes depression, like you don't have enough what is it, serotonin in your
Oh,
brain.
okay.
So
The
you can see
chemicals.
so you can see the imbalance in the brain.
Yeah. And that there's also lots of reasons why an imbalance could occur. Either from genetics or drug use or just even an accident. Like say you fall over and hit your head hard, that could damage your brain, and your brain could either produce or stop producing as much of one chemical than the other, like endorphins. I'm not sure how, no chemist or biologist. I think endorphins is produced by the brain, right?
I don't know.
Um, I think serotonin and endorphins are kind of like the same thing because endorphins is like a
It's like the
chemical that makes you happy.
happy chemicals.
Yeah. Some people do drugs for those chemicals. Maybe like, okay, this is a weird example, but I heard this story that this woman's daughter would like scrape the rust off a hubcap with her finger and lick it. And she took her to the doctor, and the doctor said that the daughter had an iron deficiency. So I'm wondering if the same thing happens with people who do drugs like shrooms, right? Are they doing that to produce that chemical that they're lacking in?
Well, yeah, that's like how they get addicted to it because it gives them that.
It gives them that feeling that they're lacking in? I wonder, like, because then, like, of course, there's always like the argument that drugs could be medical reasons, like marijuana is a big hot one.
Or
I'm not.
like, or what were you saying?
I was gonna say I have no qualms with marijuana, but like it's typically like adults would say, no, don't do it, even though they probably did it. I feel like everyone has smoked weed once or twice in their life.
Yeah, either you've done it yourself or you know someone who has done it.
Yeah, it's
But
like drinking.
um ADHD medication, people abuse that and get addicted to it.
Isn't there a thing where, like in colleges, like some people would sell their medication to other students?
Yeah.
It's it's like what, to like stimulate their brains?
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what
There's
it
caffeine pills as
actually,
well,
yeah.
and that's kind of like in the same vein, I think. I hope no one's like taking
We don't
our
know anything.
rambling. Yeah, we're just really rambling of anything.
But why do you bring this up?
Oh, I was thinking, I was sitting in my chair, like, what could we talk about?
Have you
And I
been
was,
have you been feeling down yourself?
oh, okay, so I've been scrolling through Instagram, as you know, and there's a lot of videos. And usually, when there's a lot of videos, there's a big demand for something. And I feel like that there's a lot of people who are feeling anxiety or feeling depressed or this and that. And so like that's why these videos are becoming popular because many people like these videos. They like these little bites of information of like this could be why you're sad or hey, don't be sad. And here's the reasons why. And like, the video goes on like saying you're an amazing person, you're great. That's all good. That's all good. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying like there's a demand for it and there's a demand for a reason. So I feel like that could be a very topical thing. Not for the views, but for people who are interested in learning or like to like for people who can see that other people are aware of issues that they may have or wonder about too.
I can see why those videos would help someone, but whenever I was like emo, I don't know why those videos like made me mad.
They're probably like anti-establishment or anti-popular, like what is it called? Uh, not oldster. What? Like,
Hipster?
hipster.
But it wasn't like I wasn't purposely trying to be different. I was just like so angry at the world that
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah. You don't.
yeah,
It just
even
happens. You don't have to like purposely do something to be something.
um but I mean this past year has been a hard year for everyone.
Yeah, and I feel like just that's another thing. A lot of people try to brush it off with comedy, saying that 2020 is gone and 2021 is here. But is there any difference? Like
It
they're
doesn't
right.
feel any different.
Yeah, people were like joking about it, like, oh, everything's gonna change, and now they're joking that oh, nothing has changed. It's just a number.
Yeah, I don't time doesn't mean anything.
This might sound crass, but I feel like people want to change, they have to change it themselves. Like if you want a new car, is a bad example. Again, if you want a new car, you have to like work at it and save up money. Get your credit up to buy that new Ford Expedition or something like that.
Why did a Rolls Royce pop into my head? Um, but yeah, I guess everyone was just like expecting for things to automatically be better just because it was a new year. But now everyone is saying 2021 is horrible.
And that's the thing. I feel like people just want an easy way out. They just like, oh, new year, new old problems, right? But no, it's a new year, same problems kind of thing.
What are your problems?
Right now, what kind of problems do I have? Because I do want to share something that I have been going through, but I'm not sure what that is yet. Because I want to relate to the viewer.
You don't know what you've been
Um,
going through?
no, no, I like it's like what is I feel is important doesn't seem important, like in the big scheme of things.
I mean, if it's important to you, then it's important.
Well, I guess because like, I, okay, so I've been doing a lot of research of like how to please audience, and usually a viewer such as yourself, viewer or an audience member, um, they want to see something like say a video. They want to see a video because it appeals to them, kind of like how inspirational videos on Instagram are popping up because there's a demand for that. And if there's no demand for what kind of thing I'm going to say, like who's going to care? Because it's my problem, not theirs. I know it's kind of a jaded outlook on life, but it's the truth.
On both sides, like, but then it's also like there's always something that's gonna be like quote unquote more important than the next thing. So might as well
But
just say what you want to say.
then there's like that's another problem. Like America has issues that other countries wouldn't even consider an issue. You know,
Yeah.
like things on what like oh what's this TikToker wearing or what's this TikToker doing? And I know like it used to be like television like life like what's it called? Those real life dramas.
Reality TV stars.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, what's this reality TV star is? But the internet really revolutionized popularity and how that's viewed, and so TikTok is like the hot thing right now, and so like people are obsessed over that instead of like the real issues like human trafficking. And I know there's millions of people who like care about human trafficking, and there's like thousands of people who actively fight against it, but I feel like there could be more. I feel like there can always be more for anything, like pet rescues can always be more of that. I feels kind of petty wishing something that I'm not even helping with, like say like I can help down on my local pets veterinarian or whatever local shelter. All I do is complain about it that other people don't go do that, you know?
Well, with the internet, I mean, there's so much more distraction, so it's like a privilege for us to be talking about, whatever what TikToker, whatever some tick. Oh my God, that
Soccer,
word
yeah.
is so weird. Whatever some, teenager on the internet is wearing. But then it's also like people use that as an escape from the real problems. And,
And
yep.
it goes back to like the mental issues, right?
Yeah.
Like the escapism, like people are satisfied with reality or aspect of their life, so they shelter in other people's lives or just like keeping their mind off of it.
And like the person's life that they're like admiring, like that person isn't even happy themselves either. So it's just like we only see the good parts and then we get jealous of, 20-second video.
Like yeah, there's like this might sound petty as well, but some of these things that are going viral don't even seem viral worthy, you know what I'm saying?
We should be viral.
No, no, we should not be
I
viral.
know,
I mean,
I don't want that.
I think that would kind of like ruin us if we became popular.
I like when I was younger, like I really wanted a lot of followers. I really cared about likes. I really wanted a bunch of friends. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, I make my circle smaller and smaller and smaller because I'm just like, I don't know, I just don't really care about being known anymore. That probably sounds sad, but it's like, I think I'm just content with myself now.
That's the thing. Like every generation is getting more self-absorbed. I'm sorry to say that they want to be popular. Like our younger cousin Zoma, who's been on the podcast before, he wants to be popular on YouTube, but I know he's hearing this, and I'm sorry, bud, but he's just not getting the views. He's not getting the likes. He has a sub count. He has a good sub count, but no one's like he's producing. No one's demanding, or it's so saturated what he's producing, like Fortnite. Fortnite's not even that popular anymore.
I mean,
Um,
the same could be said for us. Like nobody listens, but I mean, that's the thing. I feel like people are more focused on like, oh, what do people want rather than just like, I'm gonna make this because it makes me happy and I like doing it.
yeah, and like because like again, I don't want views. Like I just like doing this because it's entertaining. It like this is my escape. Posting these,
Mhm.
editing and posting these, little episodes that we got.
Um, so maybe I feel like, oh, we're gonna go on a break, but I don't think it's more like, is Random Wednesday done? Is that what it is?
Yeah, this kind of feels like a random Wednesday, but yeah, maybe this is the turning point. Maybe this is like a correlation between Random Wednesday and a regular episode. And trade that these episodes are gonna come out further away from each other, so it's not gonna be weekly like how we used to. It could be monthly, it could be every couple months, it could
I
be
think
however.
I think that's what kind of made it like, well, this last time because we were trying to plan an episode, I think that's what made it hard because we kept trying to structure it, and
Mhm.
sometimes things are better left not to be structured.
Yeah, like okay, so our older episodes, I feel like those were way better than most recent ones, because like this is like behind the scenes stuff. Like we plan, we even have a list of stuff like we can talk about, and I'm sure that helps. But I feel like going off the hook, at least for me, because that's what I used to do at school. I used to just go in with this presentation instead of preparing for weeks and coming in for presentation. You know?
And I was the complete opposite. I would obsess over it and I would get anxious over it, and I needed to be 100% prepared.
Yeah. And this shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't be anxious about our podcast because it's for fun. You know?
Yes, I'm finally learning that after months.
um, but back to like the whole like people wanting fame. I feel like that's also deriving from the internet. So like internet culture, as they might say, that your life is only validated via the likes you have on your post on Instagram or like how's Snapchat? Like is Snapchat kind of the same?
I don't really use it anymore, but it's kind of just like another platform for celebrities, I guess. Like, you don't really
Mhm.
get found on there. It's just more like, hey, come watch my videos on Snapchat, you know?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's kind of like I know like not everyone's like this, but like everyone seems that they need validation. And even I do. Like I ask you to for your opinion all the time, and I know I shouldn't be doing that.
I think it's okay to ask for a little bit, but I don't think there's a balance. You need to find a balance of depending on it and then like, oh, I
Like
wonder,
standing on my own feet.
yeah. And like, I think it's okay, like, okay, asking your friend for their opinion because you value their opinion, but then depending on it is another thing.
Yeah. Um, I don't know if it's like a self-conscious kind of thing or but like the perfectionist or whatever drives me to like, hey, does this sound good? Or hey, how does this look? Like
Yeah.
a little validation.
And even my friends, sometimes before they post, they ask me for my opinion, like which picture is the best, and then like once they post it, they're like, "Can you like it? Can you comment?" And of course I do it because I want to support them, but it's also like, why do we really need
I need
this?
this. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that also could be another leading cause into depression. Like, oh, I wanted more than 10 likes on this, and that didn't happen, or stuff like that. I feel like that could be a leading cause as well.
Yeah, people definitely compare their likes and, to other people.
Because like everyone wants to be loved, everyone wants to be appreciated.
It's like, I don't know, everything is about a balance. Like, you can post for fun and, share what you like and what the things you do, but if your day is being ruined because you're not reaching a certain number of likes, like just just delete. delete
Yeah,
delete it.